Good evening. We're here today with Kerry James, head coach of FC International, Casa Super League. Mr. James, go ahead and tell us what was your first experience as the head coach of FC International, and when did your team get started?
Well, we started 7 years ago. We started sort of like a pickup team at Florida International University, and we didn't really have a coach. We just sort of organized the team on the fly so that we could play some football together. And it's developed to the point where we're a strong team now, one of the better teams in South Florida.
Okay. What's your opinion on this year's competition comparing to previous years in Casa Super League?
Well, every year it gets tougher. We've been in the league 4 years now. Every year it seems that the competition gets tougher. It seems that there are more good teams. It seems that coming down towards the end, when we get towards the playoff, there are more teams in contention. So I guess it's the best year of Casa so far in terms of the competitiveness of the teams.
Okay. At what point did you say you find it necessary to rebuild your squad?
Well, funnily enough, we actually started rebuilding our squad after we had a little bit of success. The first time we won a major competition here was the Miramar Knockout. And we actually started rebuilding right after that, which is not usually the time when you rebuild, but we figured that we needed to do something different if we were going to be one of the teams that could sustain as being one of the better teams. So we sort of made a decision in terms of the players that we brought to the team and concentrated more maybe on the attitude of the players and whether they could fit into a team as opposed to just getting talented players. And over the last 2 years or so, it's worked out perfectly for us.
Okay. Are you pleased with the outcome, and how does the future look for you, being that currently you're tied for first place in this year's Casa
Well,
League?
it's looking good enough. Basically, we've decided to use a lot of young players and sort of mix them with some players with more experience. And over the last 2 years, it's been a joy to watch, really, because the success has spoken for itself. We've won competitions, we've come very close in others to winning. Just this last weekend, we won the Copa Carabana, which is the first local team to do that in the 10-year history of the competition. So it's some of those decisions we made are bearing fruit right now.
Okay, congratulations on that. What are your thoughts on this year's league, and how would you like to see the league progress towards the future?
Well, I'm always sort of looking at it from a coach's point of view. So I would prefer to see some of the coaches, get a little bit more organized in terms of organizing together as sort of a coaching body. The league has their organization, the referees have their organization. I think if we would get a lot more done if the coaches would come together as a body and help us make decisions in terms of pushing the league to where we want them to be.
Okay, good, very good. How would you compare this level of community competition to a professional soccer league? I know you watch, actually you're an Arsenal fan, correct?
Definitely, absolutely not. I'm a Liverpool fan.
What are you, a Manchester? Liverpool
yes,
fan. Oh, okay.
Rough times right now.
Rough times right now, yeah. You may want to switch and jump on the bandwagon.
I don't think so.
But how would you compare this league comparing to the professional leagues out there?
It's hard to compare because there are times that we play in the league where we get professional quality play, and there are some actually professional players that are in the league itself. So we do get that standard of play sometimes, but it's difficult to compare because professional players get to train 4 or 5 times a day. It's their living. That's what they do for a living. We sometimes have to scrounge together to get people to show up for training. We have financial constraints. We have a lot of different constraints that we have to deal with. So while we try to approach it in a professional way, it's not very easy to do with amateur football. But we try to get it as close to professional as we can. And when you watch some of the games in the Super League, and definitely when you watch the playoffs, you're going to see the level of football where it's not that far away from some of the professional leagues where people are being paid to play.
Do you feel that having support from the community, let's say business owners or even some of the patrons, do you think that will help to take take it to another level from a coach's point of view as far as bringing organization?
Well, for sure. I think what it has to start with is with basically everything. The teams have to get more organized in the way they do things. People are not going to sponsor a team that behaves badly or reflects badly on the sponsor. The league has to get more organized. Everything that pertains to the league has to get more organized if you want to have people spending their money. I don't think we're that far away from doing it. It's just for everybody to push in that direction.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm impressed. I'm not a professional soccer player, but I am impressed watching you all play, and I do see the talent out there. In fact, some of the comments that we get on Carib United FC website portrays that they're happy. Currently, we have a lot of game clips on your team, and we know that we get a lot of support or viewers on your team. So quite sure you're doing a great job, and your team is doing a great job, and the league, I'm sure, is doing a very good job in ensuring that we go to the next level.
Sure.
As far as contributing back to the community, where do you see yourself as that?
Well, the first thing with regard to FC, we mentioned the change that we made about 2 years ago. We decided to make a conscious effort of introducing some younger players into the team. We have 5 or 6 players that have played with us last year or two that are either in college or about to be in college starting soon. CASA also deserves some credit in that regard because they've always been willing to contribute towards scholarship funds and things like that to get the youth involved. Because as we know, if the youth don't have anything to do, you know what happens next. So I think that's the main contribution that we can make is to instill some discipline in the youth, because we all know that football is a very good way, sport in general, but football in particular, is a very good way of teaching them some of the habits that was useful to them in life, outside of football and in football. So I think that's the contribution that we can make best.
Okay, very good. Well, Carrie, Mr. James, Mr. Liverpool fan, whatever we choose to call it, I wish you all the best. I do know that you're tied first place.
Yeah.
However, look out for Carib United FC running behind.
Carib United FC is a dangerous team because they've been playing very well in the last part of the season, and once they get to the playoffs, you can throw the rest of the regular season. We've done very well in the regular season. I'm proud of how where we are. We just I told the guys after we won the Copa Caribana that we just need to keep putting ourselves in that position. The last 2 years, we've won some competitions, yes, 3 or 4, but we've also lost some semi-finals and finals that we want to rectify. And sometimes it's a little bit of luck that they need to win, and that's what we're hoping for, to see if we can win our first CASA championship.
Well, I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today.
Thank you, Laverne. Appreciate that.